project 2. Evaluating this project is Yunus MRT. Sorry, I correct myself. Yunus Cha from NUS Toastmasters Club. The title of the speech is Let's Talk About Ego. And I shall not introduce the speaker. Why? Because he told me he needs no introduction. Even I want to introduce him, I'm not sure how to do it. So, let's welcome Bhanu Prakash.
What do you get in mind when you hear the word ego?
Pride.
Just think about it for a while. Good afternoon to the Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and president. Throughout my life, I heard this word ego several times, many times. And every time I hear about this word ego, I hear different opinions, difference in their mindsets. I heard people saying that ego is a must for human beings, as we want to survive as ourselves. And at the same time, very oppositely, I hear it from the other crowd saying that ego is the one which is disturbing us and which is creating problems and, to our relationships and to humanity. To be quite honest, I'm stumped because there's a lot of reasoning happening behind these conclusions. Ego is normally treated as something negative, which we should not have, which we should not carry forward for making a healthy relationship. People will be always ready to explain why ego is bad for you and why is ego bad for your relationships. Ego is considered as opposite to humility. As humility is good, ego must be bad. Ego's chief aim is self-preservation. It always craves for attention. It needs compliments. It needs physical satisfaction. When void of the satisfactions, it will look for natural substitute, which is comparison. It will start comparing with you with other birds of the world. It will compare with, am I better than he or she? Am I better or smarter than he or she? Or am I living a good life better compared to people in the world? When these comparisons lead you to search for identity, your own identity, the question, who am I, will be misinterpreted by ego as, what am I known for? And most dangerously, what shall I be known for? Which is very dangerous. At the command of ego, you personally take all absurd identities by things you do, the way you present yourself. Uniqueness is highly desirable to the ego. That way, it stands to be out of crowd and less competition. So, what actually this thing is called ego? If I Google it, it says, it literally means to be a person's sense of self-esteem. That doesn't sound that bad, isn't it? By this logic, a healthy ego must be maintained throughout the human beings. It's a must. So, I feel like ego is like a tool, like a piece of software which we use, which will interact you with the world. It's how you make decisions, how you set your personal boundaries, how you create your own value. It is also remembered that ego is the main reason for overconfidence and arrogance, which is not good. As much as you are in control of your ego, you will do all negative things. When ego is in your control, it will benefit you. When ego controls you, the truth looks false and false looks true to you. When you are overwhelmed by your ego, you will do things which you will regret later, you will say things which you will repent later, and you will hurt the loved ones, and which is not good for a relationship. A big ego does only one thing, one and only one thing. It will make a big fool out of you, and you won't even be aware when it does. So, where am I leading with this ego discussion? So, is ego good or bad? Yeah, it is both good and bad in different ways. So, It depends upon how we use it, how we take advantage of it. As I said, it's a tool which you can use it for advantage when you state your point strongly and confidently. When ego is out of control, it will come back and haunt us. It will haunt our relationships. It will haunt our fellow friends. So, as I believe in something is, so much of something is very bad. And ego fosters generalization. So what should we do as human beings? How should we set our lines? And how should we set how much of ego is in here for us? I think we all should stand to our convictions. That when you are, but we need to listen to others and taking their feedback from what they're actually thinking. If you find it in someone else's argument, it's wiser to take their decision and improve on yourself, rather than showing your idea to beat their throat. And you don't take pride on it. Ego is good when you state your point strongly, and ego is bad when you're not even open for reviews and other people's mindset. I have a healthy ego, and I'm open for reviews on this.